Hey, this is Wagger's doing Human Resource Machine on the Nintendo Switch. This has been out for PC, I believe, only so far. It's a fun little programming puzzle game where they give you code and you need to write the code that allows your employee to do the work he or she needs to do. We're going to start in the mailroom. The big point of this game is that you need to do it in like one run. Like right here, there's inbox, outbox. Like inbox would grab it from the inbox and outbox, but he doesn't repeat on his own. So you need to do inbox, outbox 3 times for the program to run. If you prefer to just see the solutions, there'll be a link in the description below to our website where we've put all the descriptions, just pictures, so it's a lot easier to follow. If you want to watch the video though and listen to me talk about why things work or don't work, then continue to watch the video. Now, there are also requirements for the number of steps you take and for the number of steps that your employee takes to finish it. These don't pop up until you're at level 6/7, whichever way you want to go. And this learns the jump command. So now we can do it in just 3 commands. And then, so when it's going to go inbox, outbox, and then jump back to the top. But this is the first one where it's going to require 2 different solutions, but we'll come back. Because that takes 3 per step. And the speed solution wants just 2 per step. We'll come back and go over that. So very easy first couple levels. It does ramp up pretty quick. Now this learns that all they want to do is spell bug, and you have to do it in the order they say. So we're going to grab the B, and then we're going to grab the U, and then we're going to grab the G, and that's all you got to do. Send them all to the outbox. Boom, bug. Let's do it. Completed. This is a really interesting game too. When you're in handheld mode, it's touchscreen, so you won't see that hand. When you're on tablet or the TV mode, you use the left joypad as a pointer. So it's really cool. Oops. Okay, so we're grabbing it, putting it there. They got to do it in reverse order. So what we did there was take the first one, put it down, then grab the next one, take it out, grab the one from the first spot, and put it out. So that just reversed the order of every 2. And then we're going to get our first little cute cutscene where they actually do talk.
Back to work, everyone.
Regions of the city continue to experience power failure. Local authorities are investigating.
So what's going on in the world outside? Who knows? Craziness, apparently. We'll find out as we delve deeper into this game. Okay, so number 6. Which is like, I think the only one where the name doesn't have anything to do with what we're trying to do, but whatever. Okay, so all we gotta do is add everything. I'll put it in 0. And then we gotta grab another one and then add it to what's in 0. Take it to the outbox, and then do that all over again. And go. We are making this company so much money, obviously. We're so good at taking things from the inbox and going to the outbox. The Zero Exterminator. Okay, so what he means there with extra scrutiny is that there are side objectives to complete them both in speed and number of steps. So all we're doing here is if he picks it up and it's a 0, we don't want it, so throw it away. Anything else, move it over to the outbox. And then you'll see here, size, use 4 or fewer commands, and then speed completed in 23 or fewer steps. A lot of these you'll get it right on. There's a few where you'll do good. So we're going to go back to 2, which is the only one up until now that we can't complete with the same code. So they've added tabs so we can try different things. And this is a boring one because all it is you just need to make sure there's enough steps that every inbox has an outbox, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to copy paste, but you can't paste in addition to, just instead of. So just keep going. I want to say it's 21 total, but they don't penalize you for going too far, so I think I go to 24. Well, it'd be an even number because you have to go to the outbox. Okay, let's run this thing. I assume they keep up. Maybe it just doesn't keep up. Maybe it is 24. Because it wouldn't end. Well, I guess the next would be an inbox, but it wasn't necessary. So, and we completed in 20 steps. So yeah, it was 20. Okay, we get our light, and now we can go back up. And the left side are the quote-unquote optional harder ones. Yeah, we are super high performance. Yeah, and she's telling the same thing because we could have done either one. So this one you need to triple it. So we're going to take it and we're going to put it in 0, and then we're going to double it. Add the same number twice. Boom, that equals tripling. And get it to the outbox and start that whole process over as required. Six or fewer, we'll use 6. 24 or fewer, 24. Yay! 0 preservation initiative. Preservation. So this time we only want the 0s. So they've created a new jump if 0. Okay, so what we're going to do is we start by going down to inbox. And then if it's a 0, we go to outbox. So we're creating 2 different loops. So we start by going to inbox. If it's a 0, it goes to outbox. Otherwise, it just goes up. She picks it up again. Five or fewer, you betcha. Okay, number 10, pretty much halfway there. Octoplier suite. So this is 8 times instead of the 3 times before. So let's grab a number, move it to 0. We're going to add it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy it. So that's doubling it. And then add it again. So now it's going to be 4 times. And then copy it again. And then add it 1 more time to make it 8 times. And then jump back to the top after going to the outbox. Boom. Coding genius. Now, you could do a 0. You know, 0 would just be 0, so it would go there, but that would require another jump, unfortunately, and the size and speed requirements are met. So technically, that would be a more optimal solution, would be that if it was 0 to immediately go to the outbox, because it didn't need to be, but we couldn't do that because of the limitations on the challenges. So I would say that's a mistake on their part. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're grabbing a number, copying it to there, grabbing 0, grabbing another number, and we need to copy that to 1 because we need to do subtraction on both sides. So now we'll subtract 0 from it, send that to the outbox, then go back and get the number 1. Sorry, the number 0 and subtract that from number 1. There we go. Send that to the outbox. And then boom, balloon, we jump all the way back to the top. Go, little lady. Right on our size, and I think right on our speed too. Most of these are going to be right on. I think they probably thought of what they thought was the most optimal, and if we're doing better than that, then I think that's pretty good, because they're not really looking for average. They seem to be looking for pretty perfect. Okay, so this one, the Tetracontiplier, is 40 times. So what we want to do first is get to 5 times. Yep. One more. Okay, now copy that back. So now we're at 5 times. And then we're going to add one of those to make it 10 times and copy it back. And then we need 3 more of the 10 times to make it 40 times. Boom. And then do that all again. We're going to get to some that get pretty complicated in the number of jumps. And again, this one, if you have a 0, you should just go and move it over. But because of the way they code it, you can't do that. Because we're going to exactly make our size. So if we had added jump for 0, that would have been 1 more size, but it would have been a lot fewer steps. We would have really beaten the step challenge. But I think it's more optimal to do it all at once. Okay, the equalization room. Yay! How can you know? Now we got some lab guys watching us. We haven't seen someone make it to year 11 in a long time. We'll get rid of tags. Tags I don't really find too useful. Code's not that great. So we need to get 2 things from the inbox. If they're equal, put one of them in the outbox. Discard non-equal pairs. For these, there's quite a few jumps in this one, so I think it's easier to put my code down and then put the jumps, and then I'll go through it after we start adding jumps as to what we're trying to do. So of course, we always need to start in an inbox. Drop it, drop it. Okay, and then if it's 0, and then if it's not 0, we need to keep going. Okay, so at the top we're jumping in the inbox, we're copying it to 0, we're grabbing another one, we're subtracting it. If that makes it 0, that makes them even, so we can just copy one and take it out. If it's not, then we go back to the inbox and start over. Not even, even, yep, take one. Not even, even, take one, yep, got it. Got it? Understand that? Hopefully you understand that one. That's the first kind of complicated one where there's some actual equationing going on. Okay, the maximization room. Change of plans. Treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Management wants big numbers only. So grab 2 numbers and put only the bigger of the 2 in the outbox. If they are equal, pick either of them, but not both of them. So we now have a command where it'll jump if there's negativity. So what we need to do is we need to find out which number is the bigger of the two. So what you do is subtract 1, and if it's a 0, if it's negative, that means that the original number was smaller. So let's get all the jumps in here. Okay, inbox, copy to 1, grab another one, subtract it. If it makes a negative, that means it's not the right one, and grab the other one. If it is the right one, add it back together to make the original number and send it to the outbox. Got it? Good. Boom. Hope you're getting these ones. If you need further descriptions, if you're not understanding, I mean, obviously you can just copy what I'm doing and you'll complete the challenges. But it's not going to help you when the challenges start getting a lot harder. Okay, employee morale insertion.
And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service.
Oh, I wish we'd known how. We came in at the end of that story. We'll never know how she saved so much long distance and car insurance. I'm sorry, phone service. Back to work, everyone. Oh, these guys are always just missing important news announcements.
Machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving, and they are not communicating. Local authorities are...
How does she know that they're an army if they're not moving or communicating in any way? You know, it seems like she might be in on this a little bit. Okay, absolute positivity. Positive attitudes do make people work better, so now being positive is mandatory. Send each item from the inbox to the outbox. If it's a negative, remove its negativeness. So we got to make it positive. So we always start with the inbox. Now if your first number is negative, you copy it and then you got to subtract it twice to make it positive. If it is not negative, then it's fine, and we can just push it out. Make sense? So if it's a -5, you subtract itself, which would make it 0. Subtract another 5. Positive. Subtract the negative. You know how to do that, right? Subtract the negative makes positive. -0. Okay, we actually saved 2 steps there. I don't know where we would jump other steps. The exclusive lounge. Okay, for each 2 things in the inbox, send a 0 to the outbox if they have the same sign, meaning they are both positive, or if they're both negative, and then send a 1 to the outbox if their signs are different. Repeat until the inbox is empty. So this is another one. We're going to put all of our code down first, and then after we add the jumps, make a little more sense. So much coding. Okay, so we're going to jump down, grab a number. If it's negative, jump up, grab a different number. Because we'll see. If that's negative, that means both of them are negative. And we can go get our 0 and send it to the outbox. If it's not negative, we got to pick another number and decide which one's right. Get it? Got it? Good. So we were checking for if they were both negative, if they were both positive, or if one was negative and one was positive. And we managed 1 less size and 2 less speed. Little vacation. Kind of a dirty beach. So there, either you live somewhere where there's a beach, or the robots have still not attacked because you're able to just get by them. Either way, you know, we're looking pretty good. Moscow Mule or a coffee? What kind of beach drinker are you? That's the question. Okay, we got one more. This is another one that we're going to need to do 2 ways. One to match the size requirement. It's going to take a lot of extra steps. And then one to do the speed requirement. And we have a spiffy new hairdo coming back from our vacation. Our boss noticed it, so that makes me feel good about myself. And now we have the bump command, which will add or subtract 1 from whatever number we tell it. So for each number in the inbox, we need to send that number to the outbox, followed by all the numbers down to or up to 0. So if it's a 4, we need to send 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If it's a 0, just send 0. 0 is a number. It's one of the things people seem to have problems with this one from talking to people, is that they discard zeros, but that is a sequence, so it needs to be addressed. Okay, so we get a number, we put it in 0, and then we send it to the outbox, because no matter what number it is, we need it to go there. Then we check that number. If it's a 0, we're done. Go back to next. If it's a negative, we need to start climbing up the ladder with a bump and then continue the process. If it's a positive, we need to go the opposite way, putting it down the ladder. So this way provides less size and commands, but we're doing more work. We're jumping around more than is necessary. So 82 is the goal, and we did it in 122. So we're going to go back, and we'll go to a different tab, and it's going to take more than the normal size requirement this time, but it's going to take less steps to do it. We're going to do it smoother, but it's going to take more jumps. So again, right away if you start, if it's a 0, take it right to the outbox. If it's a negative, take it to the outbox, and then start going up the path. If at any time it becomes a 0, then we can go to the final outbox. If it's not a 0 after that, we need to go back up. We still need to take it to the outbox, but we got to keep going down the path to do another subtraction. Again there, if we're done, keep going up and getting up and up and up until it's out. So more jumps, but the code goes smoother. You go back into your plus and minuses right away without having to do a lot more checks. We're not jumping around to different code segments more. And there you go, 19. Again, check out the website, GameGuideCentral.com, doing a lot of Switch stuff, but we also have the first 20 or so screens of this game up. Amazing game. Thanks for watching.